everyone. I have some big news. I am officially graduating college. Woo! I'm gonna get myself a bachelor's in toy design in a few days, and to celebrate, I decided to do a style challenge. This video is really just an excuse to make a bunch of self-insert OCs in all of my favorite franchises, and y'all are just along for the ride. So I'm going to be drawing myself in the style of 4 different pieces of media, and depending on the franchise, I might make a whole new design because I want these OCs to fit the canon of whatever show it's based on. I think what I mean will make more sense once you see my drawings, so let's just get right on with it. So, the first franchise I wanted to do was My Little Pony. Specifically, the Friendship is Magic version because that's the one I grew up watching. And because I grew up with it, I have actually made multiple self insert ponies from when I was a kid. 2 of them are low key ripoffs of ponies from the show, but that's not important. I think my most recent design is the closest to what I would look like as a pony, but I still want to make some changes. So, for drawing myself as a pony, I of course gathered reference images of ponies that I was mostly inspired by. This included Trixie, Rarity, and Coco Pommel. I grabbed Coco specifically because of her eye shape. Fun fact, in real life, I actually have really droopy eyes, and I wanted to make sure I captured that in my pony sona. I also made myself a unicorn because I feel the most connected to them. I associate the unicorns of FIM with artifice and academia and like man made institutions, whereas I feel like earth ponies are more connected to the nature and, well, earth. And I'm not an outdoorsy girl, I'm very much an arts and fashion and math girl. As for why I didn't want to be a Pegasus, it's because I am afraid of Cloudsdale. Just the idea of a city with no walkways, no paths. You have to fly from building to get anywhere. And that's terrifying, especially since I think it's normal for Pegasus fillies to not be able to fly until they go to flight school, aka a place dedicated to teaching children how to fly, meaning that before attending the school, they did not know how to fly. And so the parents have supposedly been just carrying them around everywhere. But what if the parents look away too soon and the kid walks off the cloud and just falls to their death? What happens then? I don't know. I know that Pegasus aren't required to live in Cloudsdale, but I feel like I just don't vibe with it. I don't want to be a Pegasus. Anyways, back to my pony. I tried to give myself a unique mane style, and I made it wavy because I have wavy hair. As for the colors, I ended up going with a two-toned blue mane and a bluish-white coat. I wanted to pop a pink, so I did that in the eyes. For my cutie mark, I knew I wanted some kind of bow to represent arts and crafts as my special talent. And because my personal branding logo is angel wings with a halo, I decided to make the bow look like that. So here is my final pony sona. I'm so happy with her. I feel like I finally made a pony that accurately represents me. I do think I accidentally made myself look a little taller and slimmer than the ponies in the show, but I came really close to matching the art style. Next, I will be making myself in Monster High. Monster High is another series that I grew up with as a kid, and it definitely had a huge impact on my childhood. Like, I might actually have all the original Monster High movies on DVD. Growing up, my favorite character was always Spectra. When I was playing dolls with my sister, there was never any question I was going to be Spectra. She could pick literally any other character as long as I was Spectra. And when Haunted came out, that was my shit. So yes, I will be making myself into a ghost. This could be a little surprising for some of you, because if you know of my deep love of Twilight and vampires, you may have expected me to make myself a vampire. But I don't necessarily want to be a vampire. I more so want to be in love with a vampire, which is a very important specification. Tangent aside, I'm a ghost. I ended up copying my little character's outfit pretty one-to-one, but I did end up changing some things. Like the belt is now a ball and chain, and I gave myself go-go boots instead of sandals. I did have to mess around with the colors a bit because I gave my ghost form white skin, so the white boots and white long sleeves didn't work. It took a bit, but I'm glad I got it to work because it just didn't feel like me when I had the skin tone be a different color. Plus, she matches my pony Sona more this way. I also gave my girl black scleras because she's so cool and edgy. And I was thinking about leaving the iris out, but in the end, I chose to do a pink iris because I think she looked a little too plain and boring without it. I ended up tweaking some things off screen to adjust the colors even more and make her look more transparent and ghost-like, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I low-key think I nailed this style. It probably helped that I've been obsessed with Monster High since I was 7, but I'm still going to take the W. Next up is Winx Club. I had seen little bits of this show on Nickelodeon as a kid, but I didn't truly fall in love with it until I watched it on YouTube when I was in high school. I fell in love with the first 3 seasons. Everything about the characters, the world building, the story, the fashion, and the music it just appeals directly to me. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but to me it's mango green tea with crystal boba because it is so up my alley. And one of the most iconic aspects of Winx Club is its art style. This show looks so unique. These characters are drawn in such a specific way that you can recognize what show they are from immediately. And I love it. So, of course, I wanted to make myself a Winx fairy. The first thing I had to do was nail down the sketch. The Winx girls are always drawn in a very model-esque way with a snatched waist and the longest legs. It took a bit of finagling, but I actually do think I did a pretty good job at matching the Winx proportions. When it comes down to the clothes, I thought it was best to stick with the original Magic Winx looks. While I would love to do an Enchantix or Believix design, the classic looks are the most iconic, and honestly, they allow for the most variety in outfits. Like, Magic Winx is low-key just cute outfits, but they're sparkly and you have to wear go-go boots, while the other forms are more specifically themed. I did make some terrifying art of what my Magic Winx form would look like in high school, and if we just ignore her face, I think the idea is close to what I want to go for. So I'm going to keep the general colors and long sleeves, but I want to have shorts instead of a dress. And because I think that my powers would be snow-related, I'm going to add some fur trim to the boots and earmuffs. For my wings, I took more inspiration from my logo and went with a similar shape to them, but I don't think that they look too much like angel wings out of context, which I prefer. So this is how it turned out. I wasn't sure about it when I was doing the line art, but once I colored and shaded everything, I think it really came together. And I do think this was another successful attempt at emulating an art style. The last drawing I'm doing for today is Madoka Magica. Now, unlike my previous choices, this show is not for kids. It is 13 and up. I would recommend the series if you are old enough and if you are okay with dark themes and disturbing imagery. But with that out of the way, Madoka Magica is a magical girl anime where preteen girls can get cute outfits and powers and fight witches. You become a magical girl when this little creature, Kyubey, comes up to you and asks to grant a wish for you. Once he grants your wish, he gives you a soul gem, and you now have to fight witches in order to keep your soul gems from going dark. I think that if Kyubey were to approach me when I was in middle school, I probably would have wished to be recognized for my accomplishments. I was really quiet growing up, and I felt like no one really noticed me or all of the hard work that I was doing, and I think 13-year-old me would want to fix that. But because Madoka Magica is a dark series about the struggles of adolescence, the wishes often backfire. And I think my wish would backfire pretty quickly because even though I wanted more attention, I also had and still have social anxiety. And I think that if everyone started approaching me and praising me out of nowhere, it wouldn't actually be fun. It would probably just stress me out and I would try to hide and not talk to anyone. I am a lot better and a lot more confident now, but like I said, this series about young girls struggling, and so I kind of had to dig a little into my past. For my design, I just do something that I would like to wear, and that's really frilly and cute to match the designs of the show. I also chose a parasol as my weapon, and it has the ability to shoot spotlights. that incinerate people. This is because of my wish. I wanted to be more recognized by those around me, hence the spotlights, but at the same time, I want to be hidden and covered up. So I use a parasol to shield myself from that light and attention. Madoka Magica characters almost always have the same hair color, eye color, and outfit color. And if I had made my hair and eyes a dark purple, I could make it look more like I have brown hair. And I do really like purple, even though my favorite color is blue, but I think purple also really works for me, and I really ended up liking how it turned out. So here she is, all finished. I think it looks super cute, and I just adore the parasol, and I do actually use them in real life, just not to kill people. While I am very happy with the design, I do think this was probably my weakest attempt in matching the art style of a show. I kind of struggle with executing anime styles, and I think you can tell, but it was still a good attempt, and I can always improve next time. So that's all the styles I did for this video. I'm so happy with all of the drawings I made today, and I feel like I made little baby Brookle proud. Ever since I was little, I've always been in love with art and tried to replicate things I'd see on TV. My dad said that he realized I was into art as a kid because I would pause the TV and try to draw what was on screen. And back then, I never really had the skills to actually put what I was imagining on the page, but I feel like I'm at a really good point now as an artist where I still have things to improve on, but I'm usually pretty satisfied with my work. This video was so fun to make, and I really enjoyed it, and I would low-key be down to do it again. I think for the future, I'm going to start making more fun videos about already existing franchises. I'm still going to be working on my animated series Fast and Fierce in the background, and if you want to keep up with that, check out the Patreon. But I'm really excited for what the future holds for this channel, and I'm honestly just here to have fun. So thank you all, and I will see you next time.